This beautiful human is Sonny Manos, a now dear friend of mine. He invited me out to New York to stay with him on the Onondaga reservation, and he shared this with me. He gave me permission to share this with all of you. I hope that more will listen. There are no words to express the gratitude in my heart that I feel to have had the privilege to stay on this land, to which I'm so grateful for, and the great gratitude for the friendship that Sonny and I have made together. Thank you.
This is a specific detail of boundaries for the Aboriginal people that was created not only with members of the state of New York's museum in Albany, but also with indigenous representatives of the Five Nations. And this is clarification of those boundaries about the year 1600 AD. So when the first pilgrims came into our territories, which was recorded about the year 1613, this is the boundaries of the Aboriginal peoples within what is called today the state of New York. And being that they're matrilineal people, and they had already created their own democracy, their own constitution, based off of the principles of peace and friendship with each other. Their matriarchs were never recognized by the colonial settlers because of the patriarchy that they were working under when they came over to this continent. They didn't recognize women's rights to the land. And that is why the United States, the state of New York, the city of Syracuse, all of these cities have no foundational treaty agreement with any matriarch from the lands, making their claim to the lands completely invalid to this very day.
Wow. That's very powerful, Sonny. Thank you for sharing that with me. Sigoli, which I learned in Onondaga, means hello. As I was leaving my friend and unpacking the information that he had shared with me, I had to stop before I left this reservation to put my knees on the ground in lament. From what I have read, Onondaga peoples used to have over 2.5 million acres of their territories, and they have been reduced to a mere 7,300. And this, I felt the people in this moment being forced to live in such a small place. Whereas as sovereign citizens, they're allowed to practice far beyond these boundaries. And so it confuses me that they're not allowed to be who they are in their own sovereign powers. The treaties should be honored. And I feel deeply that this was a taking based on land titles of the doctrine of discovery. There is more to learn here. And as I look out and take this moment to unpack and to think about my privilege to be on this land, I am so humbled to be invited here. now I must go. But I will take the words of what you said, Sonny. I'm going to do something. The wampum shells that I gave you, let that be our treaty of friendship. And as I go, there is so much here to heal. There's work to be done. Yaweha, which means thank you. And I thank you for listening.